website.
Okay, I'm recording. Did you talk to Mackie about funding? Is that what you're talking about, Emily?
No, I'm talking about my personal request.
Oh yes, you didn't give a number.
Okay. Yes. Sorry, my question was, do we want to put that in the agenda as a change, or is that just fine for later?
So we save it for later.
Yeah,
Great. Sounds good. Okay, so I have a motion from Tyler to accept the agenda.
Dietrich seconded.
Dietrich seconded. Thank you. All right, I am going to go around to people and give me an aye or nay. Margit.
Aye.
Ashley.
Aye.
Susie.
Aye.
Mackie.
Something is here.
Aye.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, it was Ben.
Aye.
Cody.
Aye.
And this is Emily. Aye. All right. The agenda is approved for tonight. And then take a look at the meeting minutes from last month.
I have just made some edits I'm going to share on the screen.
Okay,
so
great.
it has been reviewed by Aaron, Crystal, and now Ben. And I think he answered all the questions that we had.
Make a motion, we approve the edited meeting minutes.
And Ashley too.
Second.
Who seconded that? Thank you.
Ben.
Ben. All right. I'm just glancing over one last time. What were the clarifications, honey? Just
yes. So Ben
some votes. Okay.
Here, and also
Aaron voted no. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, Natalia.
Okay. Okay. Great. Any other edits by anybody else? Well, sorry. We have a motion on the floor and a second.
Yeah.
Any discussion? Okay, great. I'm going to go around for a vote. Margit.
Aye.
Ashley.
Aye.
Susie.
Aye.
Mackie.
Aye.
Cody.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Okay, and then I remember from last month, sorry, we talked about, or maybe this was in another previous board, that we vote also even those who make a motion and a second. Is that correct? Ashley, who knows this best.
Say that again.
That even if you make a motion and you second, that we should still do a vote?
Correct.
Thank you. All right, I will be on that. Ben.
Aye.
Dietrich.
Aye.
This is Emily. Aye. Thank you for that clarification. All right. Let me switch back over here.
Take a vote. I'm looking at a vote.
All right, and then I heard we have Hillary Cass. Hillary, you have up to 3 minutes if you have anything you want to share. If you're just sitting in, that's also totally fine. You don't have to share anything.
Okay, yes, I am just sitting in hopes to see if this might be a good place for me to share my work. I've been aware of the Food Policy Council for a long time, but have never been a part of it. So I'm here to explore and learn about you and see if this is a good place for me to work.
Right. So Hillary, can you say what your role is in the community right now?
Sure. Right now, I am a SNAP Ed nutrition educator. I work for Douglas County Extension. This lovely lady Margit right here down the hall. So I teach nutrition to people who are eligible for SNAP benefits. So I've taught nutrition in a variety of ways over many years now. I also owned a small food manufacturing business for several years and have taught a lot of cooking classes throughout the years. But currently I'm with Douglas County Extension.
Wonderful. Thank you, Hillary. Thanks for joining us. We definitely could use your experience and role if that feels right for you to join us. So yeah, we look forward to let us know how you feel about it after this, or sit in on a couple, however feels good for you.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have any other public? We do not have public online. Okay. Moving on then. We have Dietrich, who's going to present on the RPG restaurant pilot project results on this purposeful plate. Is this purposeful plates or separate?
Purposeful plates.
Wonderful. I'm very excited to learn about this. Forward's been working hard on food waste reduction, and this was a really cool program with now RIP RPG. But are you ready, Dietrich?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna give you the floor.
You want to do that?
You do what maybe you do it. That way it goes with your rhythm.
Okay.
So can everybody see the slides?
No, not online.
Okay, hold on. Let me do this tech
Screen-
first, and
Do
then
you just screen share, please? That'd be
Yeah.
easier to screen share.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Coming. It's coming. There it is. Got it.
Thing. That is so weird.
Started out low.
Thank
let's
you.
Grow.
So what do you see? Oh, that? Okay.
I
Yeah,
see
we
his
see that.
slides.
Okay.
Good.
Do you want to go here? That way you can,
I don't, I just want to be close to the cursor buttons.
okay. You can have my seat.
That I'm gonna sit over here.
Okay.
Alrighty. So first I want to acknowledge that this was a team effort. Tyler and Ryan, back when she was on the Food Policy Council, created and coordinated our pilot project. Also, I'd like to thank Nate's last name, the owner of RPG, Marshland, along with the general manager, or the restaurant manager, Bertie Albrecht, were fantastic. Bertie said to me, this is the most enjoyable professional experience she's ever had in her life, was actually working with us. So there you go. All right, this stems from a presentation I gave at the University of Illinois back in October. So just to convince everybody, right? We as people waste a lot of food. We waste a lot of food even when we're in restaurants. These are not pictures of RPG.
Here, let's see. This one's not advancing. I think you have to click on the second screen.
Oh.
Just behind you is not.
Oh.
Just because I knew it,
Yeah, Lily was moving.
I've done the game before.
Can you help me?
So you probably have it on extended screen, so I think you need to slide out of here till you see a cursor over here, and then click once, and then that.
Hey, look at that. Well done. Okay. Okay, so can I now use the standard cursors? Okay. All right. So we people, we waste a lot of food, including at restaurants. This is not RPG. Maybe it is advancing, maybe it's not. Okay. So,
You can look behind you, and that's what it's showing.
oh.
Here, hold on. One more. This one.
What's RPG, Dietrich? What are you referring to, RPG? I don't know that acronym.
Restaurant, pub, and games, though I think it's a different acronym for role-playing games, is what I was told in it. But I had to go all the way to University of Illinois to learn RPG stands for role-playing games, which is part of the presentation. I think it was on Thursday nights. They had Dungeons and Dragons on the upper floor. All righty.
They had board games you could rent, and all different types of games you could rent, as well as a restaurant and bar.
I do have pictures of those.
So, but is RPG an organization? I mean, please give me some context.
So here, take a look at this picture. So RPG, Restaurant, Pub, and Games is downtown Lawrence.
Oh, okay. So it is one restaurant. Okay, never mind. Context. Thank you.
Those are pictures of RPG. Right, so they have two floors. They had the more structured games on the upper floor, the more role-playing games. They didn't serve dinner on on all days. So we had to take that into account. Alrighty, we ran our pilot project or our intervention over the course of March in 2022. Gosh, has it been that long? Alrighty, we had 1 week to establish a baseline and then 2 weeks to run the experiment. Alrighty, and what we utilized was the Rolodex that was on each table. The waiters made certain that our message was always at the front of the Rolodex after every party. So in order to order, somebody would have had to have looked at least briefly at our message. And the message was, we as a community, we waste food, and there's people living here in Douglas County that don't have access to food on a secure basis. Alrighty, we gathered a decent amount of data. It was at different levels. We had some data by party or by table. We had some information actually by person who paid. RPG wanted it that way. In other cases, when it came to measuring the food, even though we asked if we could measure the food by party or by table, they felt that was too heavy of a lift, but we found a good compromise where there would have been a bin on the upper floor, a bin on the lower floor, and those bins would have been weighed every 2 hours. All right. So if you just look at the raw data, blue is in the baseline, the red is during our intervention. Look at just food in aggregate, food waste in aggregate, there was less waste. If you adjust it for the number of people, it's even a bigger drop. So just in the raw numbers, it looked like the intervention was successful. That said, if you look at it day by day, there was no stark break in the pattern. So to the left of the purple vertical line would have been our baseline, and then to the right would have been the intervention. So it's not dramatic, but that's why we have statistical analysis to actually assess in general, was there a break between the baseline and the intervention period? So we sliced up the data various ways, just looking at the absolute amount of waste adjusted by number of people and then by the amount of money that was spent on the food. And then we started exploring what would have been the channels that allowed people to get to less waste at the end. One would be that they purchased less food. It could be that they bought less food and less beverages, because beverages are the quickest way to fill up our tummy. It could be that they made adjustments by actually buying higher quality food. Now, how we measured that was just the amount of money spent per item. And then as a placebo test, placebo meaning, was there something weird going on here? It's just the fact that we were like, something happened those particular weeks and we're picking it up in terms of waste. Board games should not have been influenced by our intervention, because we didn't say that people don't have enough board games to go around and that we're wasting a lot of board games. Right? That was not our message. Also, the other channel, we worked really hard to get a survey on this, was did people take their food home in a leftover to-go container, which was offered to every single person, regardless. If there was food left on the plate, everybody was offered a to-go container. The question was, did they accept that container? Alrighty. For those of you who are statistically inclined, we tried to control for other things that could have differed across the people participating in the experiment. Right, I can come back to that. Alrighty, so I've circled in red the numbers that I'd like for you to look at. Negative is good when it comes to food waste. We wanted to see food waste go down, and by golly, across the board, no matter how we slice up the data, food waste went down by a sizable amount. In addition, we explored what were the channels that people were doing this. Interestingly enough, and this was contrary to the results that we told Nate and Bertie, was that if we statistically structured the data in a more appropriate way, turns out that people did buy less food and they bought less or fewer beverages. But interestingly enough, they bought higher quality food. So it could have been that they said, I don't want to waste food. How can I do that? I can buy quality food that I will more likely eat. One possibility. In addition, we explored whether or not people would say, listen, I'm full and I already ordered too much, I'll just take it home. We had no effect in that regard. People were no more likely to accept the container that was offered to them during the intervention. All right, and as the last one, just for those of you who are nerdy, was anything weird going on during our experiment? I'm claiming that the board games should not have been influenced by this, and they weren't. People didn't buy any more board games. Interesting enough, they didn't buy any fewer board games. It could have been possibly that they were feeling guilty about spending money on food and maybe on board games. That didn't happen. It could have been that they had substituted and said, well, if I can't eat a lot of food and drink a lot of beer, at least by God, I'm gonna play a lot of games. We didn't see that either. All righty, so thank you. Once again, team effort. Thank Tyler and Ryan for standing this up. Thank you.
Thank you, Dietrich. All right. Any questions for Dietrich?
I just want to say thank you, Dietrich, and the rest of the Forward team for following through on this. I know it was kind of not the ending we'd hoped for and not the continuation we'd hoped for, but just having a university-backed study that actually got submitted and talked about with other university level folks is awesome. So that's like a huge win for us as a council that we actually, this thing took what, 3.5 years to pull out?
Yes.
So this is some of the awesome things that can result in our work. So thank you, Dietrich, for taking it to the finish line.
And the hope continues. We are analyzing Johnny's Tavern North data right now. So there's still one more in the hopper.
That's exciting.
I guess I have a couple of questions, Dietrich. I'm wondering, or whoever, but yeah, this is really interesting. I guess I wondered, like, is the outcome you're looking for just purely the reduction of waste, or then eventually like the rechanneling of the waste towards a municipal composting? So I'm kind of wondering, yeah,
Well,
what the broader goal is.
Well, if we follow the EPA hierarchy, the best thing we can do is prevent the food waste. And I will say that's what we focused on. Could we actually do that? I mean, and prevention could have been taking the food home. That's also prevention. Eat it later.
Mm-hmm. Right.
There was a bigger hope of the back of the house food being donated. I will say we didn't put as much emphasis on that, and that never really grew any kind of legs. I'm looking at Tyler.
Yeah, so there was a couple reasons for that. They had some turnover in their staff. So the gentleman that we had trained that was really excited about doing this, like I think during the pilot was no longer working there, I'll say. So it was a matter of like, how do you bring someone else on board within a 3-year period that's going to be able to follow this through? I think that was one maybe thing that happened on the back of the house. Just hearing from Birdie though, she did say like all the staff was very energetic about this effort. And so that was extremely like pleasing to hear that there was buy-in from the entire staff. And Birdie did let us know that in the time that they were still open, that they were utilizing KC Food Cycle, or one of the food waste collectors that kind of this project inspired them to start doing that. So I thought that was great, because I know there are some downtown restaurants who are currently doing that, but there's just not a lot of opportunity for that to occur on a commercial level.
I think this study also demonstrates some of the friction that you get from restaurants is the food sorting after the plate. So some of the restaurants do, the food waste will go as part of the prep work, but this also demonstrates that it is possible post-consumer for it to be sorted and continue on down into compost cycling if we can't keep it at the highest use, which is for it to remain food.
Marquise, did you have another question?
No, I guess the only thanks for those explanations. I guess I'm just wondering if there's like, what's the next step in this process? You said you're working on Johnny's Tavern.
We ran the experiment.
Yeah, I just wonder where it might lead is all I'm wondering. Like, where are you hoping to get to? What's the goal?
Well, the ultimate goal was to have the purposeful plates be implemented countywide, and then we would have lots and lots of sponsors, and there'd be decals in front of the windows of these restaurants. But the amount of foot dragging and hand wringing and whining, I mean, we learned a lot of lessons in how to work with community partners. I mean, but sometimes no and zero is an answer.
Yeah, we were coming off the pandemic. The restaurant, we had that long pause where we were like ready to pilot in March of 2020. and pandemic happened, the restaurant industry's still recovering. And so it's just a matter of priorities. And at that point, there wasn't enough capacity by enough restaurant owners to want to participate. But we did have RPG and luckily found Johnny's to want to do this. So I'm not giving up totally on this project, but it's, I mean, the fact that you're still doing it is awesome.
All right, great, thank you.
Yes, Susie has a question.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I heard you mention Johnny's Tavern West,
North, not west.
not west. Okay,
Mm.
thought you said west. Sorry.
I think I hope I said north.
Okay, all right. I was just wondering because I was at my board had their meeting this last week at Johnny's Tavern West, and I didn't see any notice about the food waste, so that's why I was asking.
It was, okay, it was only in the north and we didn't advertise it. It would have been on the table.
Okay,
Had you been there during the intervention, there would have been a table tent.
gotcha. That was my other question. Are they still doing it? Are they still putting out the message?
They actually ran it 3 times longer than we'd initially request. So they kept it in play for a good long time.
Good.
But yeah, I mean, it's evidence-based strategies. So here the evidence is it worked at RPG. I guess we could. Okay, I would encourage Johnny's North to wait until we run the numbers thoughtfully, like we did with the RPG, because some of the conclusions got reversed.
Oh, okay.
I have a question, Dietrich.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry.
I can't. I don't know if you answered this, and just reiterate if you did. When you did this intervention, did you talk? Did you give I guess like a description or a talk to the staff first about why you were doing this? And is that like what like is considered the intervention, right? Is like yes, not only are you tracking the food waste, but is there like, because you're talking about change in behaviors and change of this, but it's like, is there a change in the staff's knowledge about what you're doing too?
So we did measure back of the house food waste, and we did, well, Tyler, Ryan, and I met with the staff, and then Tyler, Ryan, you trained the staff on how things were going to go down. Do you want Tyler to respond?
Sure.
So, the staff at RPG were knowledgeable about the experiment from the get-go that was happening. They did not receive the training until after, they received the training on how to measure things to do the baseline, but they didn't receive the purposeful plates messaging because we felt like that would, right, that would interfere with the intervention portion. So once the staff were trained, right, when the intervention period started, then it was a matter of implementing those strategy through that 2-week period. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great.
So, Dietrich, sorry, I have a question.
Ben.
So the final response variable in this was the waste.
That was the ultimate outcome we were aiming
These
for.
were path analyses or something like that. Like,
Not
what
the,
your causal.
we call them causal channels.
Yeah.
We economists, social, but yeah.
Yeah. So, well, we do those kind of things. So,
Yep.
I guess my question is there concern about the relatedness between that variable and the amount of money that was spent? So the relationship between, you talked about people might be buying nicer things or something like that. Perhaps participation would be worried if less waste also meant less sales.
Oh, well.
Do you feel like that was?
Well, the initial presentation we gave to Nate and Bertie was that it was neutral. But then I transformed the data in a way that's consistent with the statistical analysis, and showed that yes, people did buy less food. And yes, the participants should be concerned about that.
So as a proportion of the food that was sold, did the waste go down? If you removed, for example, if you standardize the amount of waste that was produced by the amount of food that was sold, you still see a decline.
Yeah, I did show that.
But
Can I-
sorry,
right,
I just
I
saw a
did-
full explanation of the model. It looked like.
Yeah, so, okay, so,
R
no R squared. So if you just look at the food waste, it went down. If you adjust for the number of people, it went down. If you adjust for the amount of money spent, it went down. One more. Okay, so it would be the food waste per dollar, so the second circled column,
Okay,
but that's, yeah.
that's the weakest.
Actually, it's
Those are
not. The
standardized regression
p-value,
coefficients or something?
the p-value is quite small, so that means it's statistically.
Oh, those are
significant.
p-values, those aren't standardized regression.
No. Go, sorry. Coefficient magnitude standard error p-value. So the p-value is nicely small.
And then it's consistent. But the magnitude of the decline is the smallest of those.
Oh, true. Yeah, but it's a different, you can't, yeah, as a percentage, that is true.
They're
Yes.
standardized.
Well, it's
Standardized.
long, okay, that one's not log transform, so actually, it's a different unit, it's not comparable. You can't compare the magnitudes.
It's not standard.
It isn't, yeah, I mean, I could do that, I mean, it's not common in economics, but yes, I should do that. For the presentations, I should do that.
Well, I guess I'm just, yeah, I mean, I think that's a really important piece for the restaurateur is like, is the reason that we have less waste because we're selling less things. And then that would definitely turn them off to having this
Oh, yeah.
thing. And especially if one of your key examples of this is a restaurant that closed down downtown.
Yeah.
That's probably not gonna be.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like the best evangelical.
You know, and I will say, I mean, I asked to do the presentation now because unlike Tyler, I've given up hope. I've given up hope on actually getting more participants.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because even the two participants were narrowed it down. And the writing was on the wall even before the pandemic. Restaurants were dragging their feet.
Okay.
Right, so I'm less optimistic than Tyler.
But we even went into this with like knowing like how do we sell this on an economic factor to make it make economic sense for them to even go through the trainings and like provide the trainings onto their staff on an ongoing basis. And it was like, if you can potentially, and what was interesting is there have been restaurateurs in Lawrence who like would consult other restaurants on how to reduce food waste, which then reduces their their costs.
Yeah.
And makes their margins look better. But this didn't seem to like this particular thing did not seem to resonate. I think there needed to be more back of the house strategy on like how to reduce prep food waste, how to do better on your purchasing, how to adjust your portion size appropriately. So you're not buying excess food, wasting it. You're just spending money that way too, even though you're making some on the ticket. So it was like, we really need we probably should have had a restaurant consultant be part of our team to really think about how do I sell this to a restaurant and not just be like, this is a great thing to do for people and food waste. Like that wasn't a sell. Well, as far as we do.
I mean, some of the things you described seem like relatively simple interventions, right? Like have it as the front thing on the thing, offer everybody a to-go box. Like maybe there's some training involved in the back of the house, but it sounds like it was quite a bit more complex, the intervention.
No. The fidelity of this intervention was great. I mean, much better than I could have imagined.
So it would be an easy thing to do.
Oh,
for other restaurants.
Oh, yeah, especially this way. I mean, in terms of disaggregating the waste into a bin and weighing it every 2 hours, and it's trivial. I mean, the manager was doing this. She didn't even delegate it to a flunky.
Okay.
Birdie. No, this would be easy to stand up.
Oh.
And I will say, well.
I said, don't use the word flunky.
Sorry. Yeah, good point. Okay. Yes, Ben, your point still stands. You would have to overcome the expectation that they're gonna lose money.
One last question about that. When talking about, you said that that per ticket items tended to go up in price. Did you have an absolute like ticket value prior to intervention and after intervention? Going, okay, they're buying less food, but they're spending more money. Did you have an average ticket price per capita, like knowing, like were they still spending roughly the same amount of money, just buying less food? Or still spending less money in addition to
spending less money than what they.
Correct. Higher value ticket.
Which they're not inconsistent. Somebody could have easily said, I want to, once again, if I'm inspired to waste less food, right, I can do that in two ways. I can just buy less food, and the food that I buy is gonna be more yummy. I'm not gonna be wasting it on fries.
I think the other one thing to be maybe a little more, I should be a little more pessimistic about, that we ran into at the near end was Just Food was to manage this project after we had like completed our pilot. They were going to take it on, and then with all the changes, with their staffing, it just like completely got eliminated from anyone's like line of sight, and pretty much just like dead on arrival at one point. They were like, we have nothing, we don't have any part of this. So in order for this to even like go forward, we'd have to find some sort of organization that we want to take on as far as the management of distributing items, doing the trainings, getting the supplies. So
Managing the money.
managing the money, one of our biggest lessons learned, always track your grant funds. Huge lesson learned for me.
This was already a Department of Agriculture grant or something?
It was a CDRR grant through the health department. And we might not ever get one of those again, but
Yeah.
hopefully.
And I was interested that we had great conversations initially, I thought, with the Lawrence Restaurant Association, but that blew up in our face too.
Yeah, it was just one.
Yeah,
All right. Any other last questions, anybody?
no, thank you.
Thank you so much. It's such an exciting. I can't wait to hear what happens at Johnny's North. Do we have Enrique in person? Do we need Enrique to do this presentation? Are you okay, Connie?
I mean, it was just a short verbal announcement.
Okay.
So Emily, feel welcome to jump in since you were at the beginning of this.
Sure. I was like, so the CHP is the community health plan. What this is it it Lawrence or is it Douglas County? It's Douglas County. Thank you. Sorry, I looked at my own notes here. It is, so Douglas County will be working on a new community health plan, which then will be worked on by a variety of different partners around the county. And Connie and myself went to this initial meeting to try to like get the Food Policy Council kind of involved in this to have, so there's the one piece about food that's already in it that was in the previous health plan was on food insecurity. And I know like reading over it, I personally was wanting more than food insecurity in it, more, like not just that, but other things to be included in it. So, I had to back off a little bit from leadership involved in that. And Connie and Enrique are working on that. And so what this is a request is for Enrique to serve as our Food Policy Council liaison in the food insecurity leadership group to the community health plan. And then also I guess we can do this separately. We can do these separately, but then the other one is a request for the Food Policy Council to join the community health plan as an official supporter. As an official partner to support the development of the Douglas County Health Plan food insecurity section. So the Douglas County, so the Food Policy Council will help write this section for the upcoming community health plan that will launch. Connie, do you know
it's a quick one because there was a change of leading staff, and Jeannie was hired I think 2020 this year, right?
Yeah, she started in March or April.
Yes, so it's Jeannie is planning on wrapping this up in March of 2024. So we had our first meeting this month, and we're gonna wrap up the information that we got from that meeting and bring it back to the council to review. So there will be some communication between the Douglas County Health Plan Partnership, particularly in the food insecurity section. So it has many sections. It would be a short partnership since it's January, Feb, and March. And this happens every 5 years.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Any questions on this at all?
Sorry, I need a little more orientation. I don't know what the
What
Douglas
the-
County Health Plan Partnership.
Okay, yes,
Sorry.
that is okay. So the Douglas County has a health plan that takes place every 5 years.
Okay.
It has different sections like overcoming poverty, and there's a section that is called for food insecurity.
Okay.
The food insecurity section will guide the health department and Douglas County on how to move forward on food insecurity goals.
Okay.
This working group, the Douglas County Food Insecurity Working Group, which we're asking FPC to partner with, will create a total of 3 goals that ideally are aligned with our food system plan. So it's not gonna be anything super new, but it's just a commitment to work on these 3 goals that we can work across sections of, for example, Just Food and other food insecurity organizations and partners can also work towards those 3 goals in the next 5 years.
And Just Food and those people would be part of the working group as well.
Yes, yes.
And our portion of that would be led by Enrique or?
Correct.
Okay. But would include other FPC members?
Yes, and everybody's welcome to participate in those meetings. But to alleviate your time commitment, we're thinking of bringing what has been gathered during those working groups back to the council for your input, similar how you're getting input to the climate plan.
Thanks. As like how I feel, one thing with this community health plan is this is a way to get our food system plan and the work we do a little bit more in front of more people. Like when I did Leadership Lawrence, everybody knew the community health plan. Nobody had ever heard of the food systems plan. And so it's a lot more organizations work based off of the community health plan. And I think it's a way to like get us and our world a little bit more involved into what everybody else is doing. It's just one more county plan. Ashley says, so the Lawrence Douglas County Health Department uses this plan to direct their programming. Is that I think so. I'm not 100
Trying to place it because every time you guys say health plan, I think like health insurance plan, and so I keep rereading it because that's not what you're saying, but that's what I keep thinking. But so that's because we use the food system plan to guide our work. So is this what they use to guide theirs? Okay.
Yes, and it's like
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna just share because there was one of our board members he's like head of public health, right? So with extension on the extension board, and he would refer to this county health plan numerous times, and like that's exactly right. It shapes their programming. It shapes what they offer to the community by trying to meet those goals or those parameters. Then, what are the steps to get there?
Right.
It's and so anyway, but Emily, I'm curious of what you're saying, how that fits together, like, because you can begin to see like, this is important when there's new science coming out about food as medicine, and the soil health quality is intrinsically related to plant health and animal nutrition, the animals that are grazing those grasses and so on. All these things are coming to the fore in understanding directly, intimately, how human health is so deeply tied to soil health. Yep. And so food quality is that intersection. Public health, relates to our food systems plan. I mean, ideally, they should dovetail, they should reinforce each other. There's a woman in Oklahoma, I hope to bring her up here sometime, but she's a gerontologist, okay? So she is a nutritionist for, works with old people, not just nutrition, but aging, and yet she has a center of nutrition, and she's beginning a program in Tulsa, I guess, in Oklahoma called Fresh RX, and it's really bringing food as a medical prescription for people dealing with degenerative diseases.
So it's
And
something
so,
that
anyway,
there's actually a packet that was involved with LiveWell, but we couldn't get any providers with LMH to sign on to it. So hopefully in the next grant package through LiveWell, Healthy Foods for All, we can try and work on that. That's something Enrique and I tried to work on in 2021, 2022, and they were already working on it, but unfortunately LMH didn't sign on to it. So moving forward, it's awesome, and especially now that they have their culinary medicine person and their food is medicine person at Heartland. What I think that there's ways to move forward with one of those two. We have to wait till that next grant cycle comes around, because we at the market, we were ready to like help figure out how to get boxes of food to people that go on this prescription program, and Just Food was on board too. So so
they're starting that at Heartland?
No.
Are they starting that at Heartland?
No. There's nothing being started. What I'm saying is that Heartland Health has a person that is in the Sunflower Foundation person, the food is medicine person at Heartland Health, and then LMH now has a person that's in culinary medicine. But they didn't have those last year or the year before. So there's stuff out there, there's grants out there to start these programs, but getting the providers to be able to sign on and write the prescriptions, that was what we struggled finding that connection. And with Enrique now at Douglas County Health, that might be a way that we can start to build up. But what I was saying, when you kind of go back to what you were asking, Margit, exactly though, is like all of those things that you were saying are not included in this community health plan. The only thing is food insecurity and like how to reduce, but it is, you're right, it's like these key points, right? So it's like how the county uses Plan 2040, right? And they have their key performance indicators that they're trying to hit. The city uses their strategic plan. So this is a strategic plan for community health people, whether that's Douglas County Health, whether that's, I'm not sure who all the partners are gonna be this next round, and who all were the partners before. But this is an opportunity to get more food involved and more things involved in the food system. And I think, having a food policy council person that reps for us, just keeps getting us out there and what we're working on, and building up that trust with the community for us as policymakers and advisors. So anyways, on all that said, do we take a vote on Enrique being our liaison?
If there's a need for further presentation, I can get Jeannie to present next month.
So Enrique is already on the board. This plan will come to Food Policy Council as liaison until it's over, as opposed to us sending someone there. Correct?
So Enrique is on the council.
Oh, I did not know that. Sorry, Enrique.
Enrique is officially on the council as of, I believe, last month.
Okay. Apologies.
All right, it's great. Enrique's already on it. Him and Connie have already been attending the meetings. This is a formalization of him being our official liaison and representing us as the Food Policy Council.
It's kind of confusing.
to Douglas County Health.
Then, Madam Chair, I move that we formally appoint Enrique as our liaison to the CHP.
Thank you, Ashley. Tyler, what did you say before I continue there?
I was just saying it's a little confusing because he is both a member of the council, but he is now our new Douglas County Public Health representative. He works for Public Health.
Yes.
So he replaced Christine.
Correct. Thank you. All right. So we have a motion on the floor.
This is Ben. I'll second.
I second that.
All right. Thank you, Cheryl. But I heard Ben first. I'm going to go with Ben.
Okay.
Ben seconded that. I'm going to go around and Margit.
Yes. Aye.
Ashley.
Aye.
Susie.
Aye.
Mackie. I'll come back, Mac.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
thank you. Ben.
Aye.
Dietrich.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Cody.
Aye.
Daryl.
Aye.
And this is Emily. Aye. All right. Enrique will be our liaison to the community health plan. And then also we need a motion about the Food Policy Council officially joining as an official partner to the community health plan.
So moved.
Ashley makes a motion.
Seconded.
Cody seconds. Thank you. All right, I'll go around. Margit.
Aye.
Ashley.
Aye.
Susie.
Aye.
Mackie.
Aye.
Ben.
Aye.
Dietrich.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Cody.
Aye.
Daryl.
Aye.
And this is Emily. Aye. All right, we as the Food Policy Council will officially be partnering with the community health plan for this next 5 years, or writing it, and we'll see how we work with that. Okay, next up is leadership and full council retreat planning. So previously, I mean, I've only been on the council a year and a half-ish. Previously, we do 1 to 2 retreats per year. And what that looks like has been usually like 1 retreat in the winter, like January, February, and 1 in the summer, July-ish. I was talking with Connie and Cody. So we currently have 3 openings. We have some people who have applied and we're waiting for appointments, but we currently have 3 openings, which means we will have 3 new people joining us, ideally January, but we'll see how fast we can fill those in. But also we have a couple other people, newer appointees that we've brought on board. One thing that Cody and Connie and I had proposed was, instead of doing a full council retreat right away in January, is having a leadership retreat where that's the chair of each working group, and then Cody, myself, and Connie meeting and maybe making a strategic plan for the entire year, thinking about each working group's plans, and then bringing that back to everybody, and then later having a full council retreat once we have everybody on board and have our full council ready. We wanted to propose that to you all, how you feel about that. Does that feel better to like have a kind of reset and have it planned out? Like Connie was thinking how, we now we kind of know, with Connie having a full year under her belt in this role, we kind of know when things are going to be a little bit better. Like we know in the spring, we have the K-FAN going to the Topeka Capitol. We have in the fall, we have our legislative sessions and the K-FAN all council meeting and things like that. So we can kind of think a little more strategic thoughts, open floor conversation.
Sounds like a plan. I think that makes sense that you wait till these other members are brought in. It's a great way to meet face to face, and yeah, I would wait.
The only thing I would add is, like, if there are budget requests, feel free to bring those before we meet for a retreat, because I know there's some conferences that are coming up in the spring that have early bird registration and whatnot. So just keep bringing those if you want to go.
Anybody super against this and really wants to have a full council meeting and want to talk about that at all? I want to be open to conversation about this.
I guess I wonder what are the dates you're thinking of, for these full council meeting retreat type meetings? No, wanted to bring this to you.
I mean, like I said, in the past, we've done a full council retreat in January and then in July, I think. So I think it's kind of can be up to what we as a council want to do and what works best for everybody.
Would February be a reasonable time to have the new people on board?
Yeah, I think so. I think that would be great.
I would suggest we have a full policy council meeting in February. We can maintain momentum from the leadership's retreat in January. If I understand correctly.
Those of you that are chairs of working groups, how do you feel about that? Would that be helpful to have just like leadership meet and kind of have a reset and conversation, you know, kind of refocus about for the year?
I like that. I would take it a little further and say that potentially, if we're going to do more like stuff like that, have leadership meet like quarterly, and if it's just a short meeting. One big one in January absolutely makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, just curious, like where, kind of, I don't know if it would be new initiatives or like kind of thinking about where we go over the next year. Like one thing I've definitely heard in a lot of conversations actually about the solar stuff is thinking about farmers and Margit, I know you know this way better than me, but like thinking about the Food Policy Council's role in new farmers. We've talked about like diversifying that aspect, but also adopting sustainable soil practices and all kinds of things. I know that that's switched over. My understanding is that's switched over time with the role that the Food Policy Council plays in that. But I don't know if where that sits, if that already can sit with the current structure of the working groups that we have, or what?
Yeah, I think it just depends on what the council has energy for. And for example, later in tonight's agenda, there's a new working group being formed for the Indigenous Food System Study and Action Plan. So if there is leadership, if you want to start something and there's space for that, we don't need to hold to the 4 working groups that are set. Okay. Those, like for example, with health equity right now, it's really small. It doesn't make sense to have health equity right now, but if there's energy for something else, and that something else can happen.
And I will say, I've been on the council for like 3 years now. I'm not sure about. I think that the direction the Food Policy Council has taken is directly a result of who's serving on it. And there have been less people that are farm focused. There have been less producers on the booth. Like when I got on, I think I was one of 3 or 4, and like there aren't as many people that are actually in production agriculture. And I think that makes a difference with the focus and the expertise that people on the council bring. It's naturally happened the way our membership has changed.
Yeah, I'd agree with you, Ashley. When I came on, there were very few farm people on. It was basically Scotty and John Pendleton for the major producers.
And the types of producers, because that absolutely makes a difference too. Like the perspectives we're bringing. So like this, I think it's the way I've seen it change is when we've had membership change and the direction that people are going, which they're doing the things that they know because that's where they provide their expertise. So yeah. I would agree with you. I would love to see it more about like food farmers and stuff like that, but it's the way it's happened.
Yeah, I mean, I think like my thoughts are leadership. We can email each other. We'll come up with a time and date to meet. And then in the meantime, as like council members, if you have like things you want to see worked on, if you have like send us your like emails, and like we'll let you guys know when we're gonna meet. So send us your ideas, your thoughts, things you're like, I think we should go to this conference. I think somebody should go to this conference. I think we need to be working on this, or my working group's not what I want it to be. Like I want to create my own working group, or what, like just like what Connie said with health equity, or I only have one person in my working group. I need more people, and then we'll help find that, and finding your community members outside of Food Policy Council are also great.
Oh, that's right, because working groups could have other members that are outside of the Food Policy Council.
Exactly, working groups can have people that are not Food Policy Council. Like we have Chathan on ours, who is our community policy advisor for our working group, but also we can have any community members join us as well. So yeah, start thinking about 2024, what's that, and like our legislative you know, session requests that we had talked about with the county, what we as a food policy council are interested in working in, and then how do we implement that? Use your food system plan as well. Think about your working group, what you're working on now, what you want to look at. Go, okay, these are the things. So, and we'll send out some reminders, emails. Connie and I can work on that to get your wheels thinking. If not,
Emily and Connie, I know we just
And
had,
could you include, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I know we had the K-FAN meeting Thursday, and the legislative priorities did get selected. Did that get shared out yet?
Hasn't been shared yet.
Okay, so that might spur some.
Wait, is that? I was going to ask that question, like, have those legislative priorities been designated? And if so, if they're documented, could you forward those as well, Emily, or will that only be after this meeting Thursday?
We'll, as soon as we get them.
Thursday, ideally, right?
They were
Yeah, okay, Thursday.
The PDF, yeah.
Awesome.
Well, when you get them, forward them. That'd be
We
great.
will.
Thanks.
Definitely.
If we were to have the full policy council have a retreat in February, I want to say back in 2020, we met at the Sunrise Project and utilized their kitchen/dining area. That was nicely convenient. Also, we got I think we had access to the kitchen, so we could even make things together on site.
Good thoughts. Yeah. And then I think last year we did Baker Wetlands. So yeah, all right. That's a good suggestion. Is Sunrise is nice and central-ish for some farmers coming from out. I don't know. We'll have to say, you know, that's the harder thing. The more rural we add in Douglas County, the more decentralized things become.
But if it's not an every meeting kind of thing, I don't think that's terrible.
Yeah, oh totally. Any other suggestions for ideas of places?
The wetlands is pretty reasonably priced too. So it's only $50.
Sunrise is free.
Yeah, and we do have access to city buildings and county buildings too.
And an extension has nice space too.
Yeah, and
Yeah, for sure.
Ashley, have you ever
Yep.
used Lumberyard Art Center for any events?
I haven't, but I know they do stuff. And if you're a nonprofit, I believe they waive the fee.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, there's
Or it's
also
greatly reduced.
Art Love Collective is a new space that would fit us. Library is fine. Okay, we'll come up with a couple of things and propose that when that comes. So Connie and everybody, let me reiterate a question here. Does that mean no full council meeting for January and just January leadership retreat?
it depends on you.
Okay.
Wouldn't we have to move our January meeting anyway because it falls on Martin Luther King Jr. Day?
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah,
Maybe just don't have one.
the FPC passed a motion that it's on the fourth Monday.
It
right.
would be moved back.
Yeah, when there's a holiday.
So okay, I think. Do we have to do anything specific with the county and or city if we don't have a full council meeting in January and it's just a leadership meeting?
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
If we don't have a full council meeting in January and it's just the leadership retreat instead, do we have to make a request or report this with the city and county? Is there any, we just tell them
The open meeting thing.
No, you technically don't need to meet every month.
Okay. Okay, great. Well, then do I need to make a I just declare.
I move that we don't have a January meeting and we just do a leadership retreat.
Great.
Second.
Thank you. All right, Margit.
Yes.
Susie.
Hi.
Mackie. I'll come back. Cheryl.
Yes, aye.
Ashley.
Aye.
Ben.
Aye.
Dietrich.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Cody.
Aye.
And it'll pass without Mackey's vote, yay or nay. This is Emily. Aye. All right. So you are relieved if you're not leadership of your duties for January, take a month off. We will email you guys about thoughts and stuff. So, but be prepared for February full council convening
Retreat.
But
that'll be retreat. Yeah.
On the 4th.
Wait, the retreat.
No, in February, no, it'll be same.
The 3rd week of February.
3rd Monday, the 19th. Isn't there?
No, isn't that okay?
It's President's Day. Is that a holiday? Is that a holiday for a county?
No, this is
Okay.
a bank day.
Okay. February 19th.
Wait.
Lincoln's birthday.
Connie's looking up her calendar, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So you're suggesting to have the full council retreat during the regular meeting time?
Yeah, does that make sense?
Yes, if you only want 2 hours.
Can we not go over? We can't go more?
No, you can.
Oh.
Just if everybody's okay with that.
Do we want to have a 3-hour retreat or a 2-hour retreat, everybody? In the past, we've had in the past, I think last year we had a 3-hour one in January. I can't remember because I think it was 6 to 9.
We did like half an hour early and half an hour later.
That's what I thought. Okay.
But if it's also less people, we probably aren't going to need a full, like, I would think it wouldn't take as much time. Depends on what I guess it depends on what you have planned.
Ideally, we have our full council, right? Ideally, we have, we have a couple applications in. We're just, we have to wait for appointments and things like that. And we're working on recruiting for our final. So we have city appointments available if you know of anybody. But we can always reconvene. All right, so 6 to
You mean
9.
February? That's on me. Sorry, I was making notes and got lost. Forget what I said.
6 to 9 p.m. February 19th. Put it in.
That sounds good. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Susie. Okay. Awesome. Let's move on. Funding requests. We might even end early today. We'll see. Did you shush me because I'm jinxing it now? That's how it goes. Okay, so I have a request. And we are one of our goals for the leadership retreat is to work on formalizing how this request is going to work and getting that figured out a little bit better for the future. There is the nationwide intense farmers market conference that comes up it's every March of every year. I've gone online the last couple of years, and this year want to go in person because it is unbelievable. They haven't released any of the workshops or any of the talks this year, but it's insanely beneficial, and would love to bring back everything I learned. Last year I did their anti-racist toolkit for farmers markets. It's kind of everything that could have to do with how to run a farmer's market, how to run a food business. There's incubator kitchen stuff that goes on. as well. So hopefully they do another one of the incubator kitchen workshops because it was only in person last year. Anyways, that being said, I think what we were talking about is what our precedence has been half of a request up to $1,000. Has that been our precedence we set?
I think it's 1,200.
Why do I think it was?
I think
50%?
I think that we only did that because that's how much we gave Ashley, and then that's how much we gave Crystal.
It was half, because the precedent that I used when I requested money was that Policy Council paid for half of Leadership Lawrence. My request was more money than Leadership Lawrence cost, and so that's why we capped it at a certain amount. I think it was, yeah, so it was either half or whatever the dollar amount was. So it just,
okay, great.
Half, I feel like half's our precedent.
Mine's under that anyways. So for a 50% request. So my request is for $1,100 for 50% of that. Sorry. Which would include going to the conference, airfare, and a hotel for 3 nights for the three night conference.
So 550.
Yes.
I so move that we would approve the funding for Emily to attend Intense Farmers Market Conference.
I second.
And support the funding.
I think that was Susie seconded.
Yes.
Thank you.
Margit made a motion to approve 550 for Emily to attend the TCM or TMC conference. And then who second? Sorry.
Susie seconded.
Okay.
All right, Ashley.
Aye.
Cheryl.
Aye.
Mackie. I'll come back to Mackie. Ben.
Aye.
Dietrich.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Cody.
Aye.
Hold on. This is Emily. I abstain. Mackie, can we get a vote from you, please? Aye or nay on approving $550 to go to the Intense Farmers Market Conference?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I'm excited to present to you what happens. All right, moving on. Food and Farm. Do we need to strike this from the agenda, or just announce it at least and then have a conversation?
I think we can still request it. I don't think we're going to need it, but
okay.
That way we have it since we're not meeting in January. Food and Farm is requesting up to $500 to fund a food systems panel event for like new food businesses, whether that be brick and mortar, like out of their home, a food truck. I really don't think we're going to need it. We got an email that the USDA extension wants to sponsor our event, but I figured since we're not meeting in January, we can go ahead and if this gets approved and then it's there should something happen. But yeah, and this would mostly be for refreshments for the panel event and potentially mileage if someone requested. And then advertising was the only things that we thought we would need anything for. So, and we do not have an exact date for it. We are going to work on that at the beginning of January and hopefully get that all finalized out. So, does anybody have any questions about it?
Is it open to the public?
Yes. Well, like it's gonna be geared towards like people that are starting a business, like either are in the beginning stages of starting a food business or people that want to do it. Like, what do they need to do? Like, what licenses do they need? What tax stuff they need to set up or permits, etc. So like, that's kind of the goal for it, but anybody could come. We're not you don't have to like show your application at the door or something. So.
And Ashley, Food and Farm this is designed by Food and Farm, or Food and Farm is participating in this panel?
No, it's designed by Food and Farm and then Economic Development. We had a joint meeting in December. We're going to meet again in January to kind of finalize. So we both have been talking about, like, and Tyler, jump in if you can. We've both been talking about doing similar events, so we're going to kind of work together to do one. So it's a lot of our goals and people we wanted to come speak aligned, so it made sense to just combine them.
Yeah, so like with the food trucks, it was inviting like the fire prevention chief, Lawrence, to talk about fire inspections and like what you need to do. And then we had to have a contact KDHE that will probably come and talk about food safety, like what licensing you need. So basically this is kind of part of economic development phase 2 of the food truck regulation thing, is to start getting some communication and outreach out to people to start a business. But again, it aligned really well with what Food and Farm's trying to do too. And I'll say, like, there's some beginning conversations, I think, with an NK fan about cottage food laws again. So this could be an opportunity to start having those conversations.
Has there ever been a time before where the Food Policy Council had more regular panel events, reaching out to people to inform them, guide them? It's kind of like SNAP Ed. I mean, do we have any regularized?
I think it's usually with the line of you're doing this panel or this information also as you're working towards a possible policy change. So it just depends on the work that you're doing.
We were literally just hoping to get information out to people, because like starting a food business, you don't realize all the things you don't know until you don't have it, and then you get in trouble for not having it. Is kind of where we talked about it. It's this conversation started for us like in July or August when we toured the the kitchen.
Culinary Commons.
Thank you. When we toured the Culinary Commons, we started talking about people starting food businesses and like people that were selling at farmers markets and things that they needed to have. And so like it started there, and then going on to people just starting like restaurants or small restaurants, and then bringing in the food truck aspect of it. So it's like what Tyler was talking about is everything we talked about, but there's enough overlap that we felt like it would serve all of those people within those 3 different business types necessarily. And it's really just bringing together like a meat inspector, KDA inspector, or somebody from the Kansas Department of Revenue to talk about taxes. So like people could, like we talked about kind of the structure of it very, very briefly, and basically having like a little bit of a mixer where people can kind of come in and they can talk to people, ask their personal questions. We planned on having like about 45 minutes worth of questions to ask. But if there's discussion within the group and they ask questions, definitely letting them ask what they need to know. Basically having questions prepared so that we don't have like dead space. Or dead air, sorry, dead air, like when nobody has a question to ask or doesn't know where to start. So, but it's just about bringing the information that potential food businesses in Douglas County need to get started. Or at least resources they can go to ask their questions, like where they should find the things that they need.
And then I guess I'm just going to toss out there, because it's going to be January 11th through the 13th is the Great Plains Growers Conference that also has one day on that Thursday, the 11th. It's about agritourism. So I don't know if you all have calendars with some of your other outfits or organizations, but Great Plains Growers Conference.org, I think, is their website. Hold on. Yeah, .org. Great Plains Growers Conference is all one long word. .org would be good to post on your social media, because that one day is about cottage law and starting of agritourism, but it could be food-based business.
And I suspect I'll make a motion to approve the request of up to $500 for this panel event.
Second.
Motion made by Cody, second by Patrick.
All right, thank you. All right. I'm gonna go around to everybody. Margit.
Yay.
Ashley.
Aye.
Susie.
Aye.
Mackie.
I'm confused.
Yes.
Why are we voting on it?
we are
To
voting
approve the funding.
I think just in case.
just in case we need money. Yeah, I saw the email from Connie about Haskell Indian Nations University's extension office has offered to sponsor this event.
Yeah.
So that's what Mackie's clarifying. And I think this is just a just in case, since it was already on the agenda. And since we won't have another meeting before, we might not have a meeting in time to approve that in case we need those funds.
Also, I wasn't 100% sure if sponsor meant literally anything that comes up, or if they just wanted to, I didn't know what that meant, so I didn't figure it would hurt to still request the funding just in case.
So what I'm going to do is I was just planning on doing a PR and giving $500 to the Food Policy Council, and then they can give it to y'all, but, or however, I don't know. We just need to work it out. But anytime that we have anything like this that's for community, and as long as it's open to public, like, we can sponsor it. And my idea is to save money, because it seems like a lot of people are coming in and asking us for money to go to conferences and stuff, and I'd rather you guys spend your money there on those things. But I guess so.
You just use all the gives to fund this, can't we?
Oh, yeah, I think if the vote
Haskell
goes.
gives us $500, we use that $500 too.
Correct.
Right.
So did you hear that, Mackie?
No, Ben, can you say that again?
I was just gonna say, if Mackie and Haskell support $500 for this food systems panel event by giving it to the Food Policy Council, and we're approving of up to $500 to support the panel, it's $500 that he puts in the door and $500 that goes out the door, right? I mean, it goes through the Food Policy Council.
And then we also have in minutes where that money went. It's not a bad idea. Yeah.
Yep.
There's certain, as long as whoever's putting it on gets me the flyers and the sign-in sheets, that's all I need.
Great. We'll definitely thank you so much, Mackie, for that, and thanks for clarifying on that. That's a really exciting partnership to have for that event.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so where am I at? Sorry. Thank you, Mackie.
By Cody, second by Dietrich.
Yes. Ben.
Aye.
Dietrich.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Cody.
Aye.
Cheryl.
Aye.
And this is Emily. Aye.
And Margie, I don't know if you got interrupted. That's right.
Yeah, I think you were first, I think, Margie.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine. I got lost.
Thank you. All right. Food and Farm Working Group has approved for up to $500 to fund the food systems panel. And then with sponsorship by HINU's extension office. All right. And then full council retreat request up to $550 for food, materials, and room rental. I had put this in the chat, and I don't know if we need to add this to the agenda to also do a leadership retreat request as well, which maybe be, do we need to have Ashley help with this? How to add that to the agenda best?
The leadership one?
Yeah, if we want to add a second.
I would make them 2 different points.
Another funding request. Okay, so great. So let's do the this will be for our February 19th full council retreat, up to $550 for food, materials, and room rental.
I so move that we approve this $550 for the full council retreat in February 2024.
Do we have a second? All right, Cheryl seconds. Any discussion? All right, I'm gonna go through for head count. Margit.
Aye, yeah.
Ashley.
Aye.
Susie.
Aye.
Mackie.
Yeah.
Ben.
Yep.
Dietrich.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Cody.
Aye.
Cheryl.
Aye.
And this is Emily. Aye. Thank you, everybody. Motion passes. Full council retreat funding up to $550 for our February full council retreat. And then now we need to add to our agenda a leadership council retreat request for food materials and room rental for January leadership retreat. We want to do a lot less than that. Thoughts? Do we want to do like half that since it's going to be a lot smaller? Not Connie's nodding, I see. So I'm gonna make a
I move that we request funding for up to 275.
No, it's also gonna be the chairs.
All right, Ashley made a motion for $275. Do we have a second?
Second.
I hear Tyler with a second. Thank you. Any discussion about this?
How many people?
Tyler.
7?
I think it's 7, yeah.
Yeah, so it's under quorum. Is that 7 including you, Connie?
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on.
But I also count twice.
Oh yeah.
So it should be 7.
Has anybody checked on room rent to make sure that the 275 is going to work?
We can,
because of
the
way things had gone up.
It's a good point, Cheryl. Thank you.
I think there's enough free places. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Would we not go to a place that had charges for the room?
We could always go to the library if we need to. With a small enough group.
That's good space. The fairgrounds has a kitchen too.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor and a second on the floor. Any other discussion? All right, we're ready to take our vote. Margit.
Aye.
Thank you. Ashley.
Aye.
Susie.
Aye.
Mackie.
Aye.
Ben.
Aye.
Dietrich.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Cody.
Aye.
Cheryl.
Aye.
This is Emily. Aye. Motion passes for $275 for a leadership council retreat in January.
Emily, I have a quick question. I waited until all these went through. I have this feeling from past years that somehow you have to specify that the funding request, since we don't have enough in our budget, I don't think, for this year to approve all these, right?
Oh, but it's for 2024.
We have to specify that these are 2024 budgets, so you can do one more vote, probably all of these.
I forgot about that.
Funding requests in the 2024 funds. So I think you have to earmark
contingent on 2024.
Even though the agenda specifically mentions 2024 funding requests?
That's a really good point. Tyler, the agenda does say that.
But does the motion need to say it?
Since it was under that heading, maybe it's.
I don't know. I just know in the past we had this.
How would we go back and redo all the things we've already passed?
No, I think my suggestion was you could just do like one more request just to specify it. But if it's in the meeting agenda, it's probably specified enough in the agenda item that you're probably fine. I mean, worst that happens is administration tells us, hey, remember to.
You're saying specifically that this comes from the 24 budget, not necessarily these just occurred.
Well, because like the last one, it was a January leadership council retreat, which would have been 24. The food and farm was February 24. The full council one, I don't know how the motion read, if it's for the 24 or for if it even read that it took place in February, which would be 2024. And I don't know if Emily's had the date in it.
Mine did not have the date in it, but okay, great. Let us.
I'm not arguing, Tyler. I just didn't know if that covered it because it's under 24 funding request.
Let us know if we need to clarify. I think that's great for thinking about in the future for our December meetings as we make these decisions.
But if we're having a meeting in December and we're talking about January and February, it should come common sense that we're talking about the following year.
Ideally, yes, and bureaucratically, potentially not.
Presumably, this is also necessary because theoretically, if we had some budget left over this year, then we would need to specify this is coming from the remaining budget for us to do a money order for next year. But again, because it's under 2024 and because of the budget, none of these requests can fit in the budget as it's, I think we're okay. Right? You can point things at me. If something goes wrong, you can say, Cody said it's okay.
I think it's fine.
I don't think in the past we've ever specified like a year's request. I think that clarifies it in the agenda.
We lost.
Oh, there is one thing, is that we did make it to the agenda, and Connie and I and Emily didn't catch it, which would be the announcement of the working group for the Indigenous Food System Plan.
Oh yeah.
Right earlier now. So
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
And because Connie said, I'm like, oh wait, no, it's not here.
I apologize for that.
Okay. I need to add it to the agenda, or just bring it up and we fix it in minutes.
I mean, it didn't need a vote.
No,
I think we can just bring it up.
Okay.
I think it's just an announcement and.
Okay, well, there is an announcement, which is Mackie Moore and Crystal Bradshaw are going to be working on the new working group for the Indigenous Food System. Am I missing any details that are important?
Indigenous food, Douglas County Indigenous Food System and Action Plan.
And action plan. Great.
Yes, and Mackie Moore has graciously extended his work to his student interns. So we have a few hands, and it looks like the first quarter will be gathering local food entrepreneur businesses on an Excel sheet, and if you know of any, send them our way, and then go from there. It looks like there's also going to be potentially listening sessions in quarter 2, but we're just starting from the beginning, so it's really exciting to start that work. I think, I don't know, Mackie, do you have anything to share?
Did you say something to me?
Yeah. Do you have anything to share about starting the Indigenous Food System Study and Action Plan with Crystal and your interns and FPC?
No.
Okay.
We have time for other budget requests?
Sure.
Forward.
Actually, wait, hold on. Do we have quorum still?
Margit left.
Margit left. So 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. We do still have quorum without Margit. Although as a voting, if it's for you individually, you would have to abstain, and then we would not have quorum.
It's not for me individually, it's for the forward group.
Sure, I feel that that's an okay thing to vote on. Anybody else?
We were given money, each of the groups, the working groups was given money for the lived experience pot of funds.
Caitlin mini grant.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's $200, and we were required to pay $25 an hour. We've successfully recruited 4 people for our efforts, but our invitation still remains at large. If additional people would like to participate in our ethnographic work, engaging people on their lived experience, could we extend the amount of money? And I'm just going to throw out $100 for 2 possible additional participants who would work with us 2 hours per person, $25 an hour. In 2024.
There's like, I feel like this would have been in addition to the agenda because it's really new. But Dietrich, I think there's several pathways for this, especially because now we have the lived experience. So if there are in the underserved population, they qualify for that. Additionally, we will be receiving a 10K grant from Blue Cross Blue Shield to do this kind of work. So those funds would most likely come from that pool rather than the FPC budget.
If it comes from that pool, do we still need the request? So that it's there, that it's.
Yeah.
We can follow through.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. So we don't have those funds yet. Is that correct? The pools you're talking about pulling that from.
That the second pool.
So
it hasn't been transferred yet, but all the papers have been signed.
So my question is, like, if we go ahead and approve his funding and then it doesn't come in until later and Food Policy Council pays it, knowing where it went, can we reimburse that to our budget from that? I don't know how, I genuinely don't know how it works. Like if we can reimburse it because we know that, you know, $200, $100, $200, whatever went towards the Forward group for that purpose.
I'll have to ask him on the different accounts, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if we had to use it as it came in or if it could like go into the budget. And I just don't know how it works.
But Connie, the reason you raised that is that you think, given how formal a request that is, and that we'll need to vote, that it should be part of the agenda.
Yes.
Is there a reason we can't add something to the agenda as it comes up, like as new business?
Isn't that the point of approving an agenda?
Yeah, but we add stuff to our agenda in like Farm Bureau meetings as they come up. If something happens, like the agenda's out there, but.
Yeah, we had things in our agenda at our board meetings as well.
So does the fair board.
I could see it being more of an issue if you bring up like some sort of a subject where the public might want opinion on it, and if it wasn't a part of your original agenda, then someone might be like, well, you can't just add it at the last minute and didn't know about it. So I think that's probably why that's the case. But I don't think in this case that would be an issue.
So
is it because we're council appointed by a county government as opposed to a board of directors? Is that the difference?
It might be.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know. I was just like, I know we can do that. I didn't know what the council's limitations were.
We do that at the fair board, and we're appointed by the commissioners.
I don't think there's a problem.
Especially since it's another funding request and it's under the same umbrella of things that we've had there, I would be comfortable moving that we do it up to an additional $100 for Forward to support 2 more lived experience candidates through.
All right, Ben has a motion on the floor.
I seconded.
Ashley seconds it. Any discussion?
Yeah, based on what you said, Ashley, should we add an addendum or something? What you were saying, Connie, that's essentially, and should we receive the Blue Cross Blue Shield funds, we would reimburse ourselves that amount used.
All right, so Ben is making a addendum to your motion.
It'd be an amendment.
Amendment, thank you. Amendment to his motion. Connie, do you have that?
I second his amendment.
Connie, do you have that verbiage?
No, I couldn't type that fast. Can you say that? Can you say that again?
Yeah, sure. I move that we provide up to $100 to Forward to support 2 more lived experience interviews at $25 an hour.
Technically not.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Participants.
Participants, $25 an hour from the 2024 budget. And when we receive the Blue Cross Blue Shield grant, we would reimburse ourselves from that. Sorry. You got 2 thumbs. I'm just a bunch of person from here. What did this?
The follow-up is that the agenda should be amended to demonstrate that this was discussion, or can the meeting minutes reflect this discussion?
I would say
meeting minutes
are sufficient, just as we do.
I would, I mean, none of them will take a vote on this, but I would ask that leadership resolve whether or not items can be discussed if they're not on the agenda, and where that line is drawn.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're having leadership. Yes, because honestly, if it's restrictive, it seems odd. That means we can't pivot in the moment to discuss an issue which could be strongly timely.
Well, I would say that what Tyler was saying is like, we had a completely different, if somebody would have put forth something that was completely different, that should probably be advocated for at the beginning when we talk about, when we vote on the agenda.
Oh, right.
Not like during the meeting saying, you know what, I want to talk about something completely different. Let's all go talk about, like, whereas this still falls under the 2024 funding request umbrella that was already part of the agenda, but that's just, that's just my.
So there's a time and a place at the beginning of the meeting where we could discuss additions to the agenda. As Emily said, are there additions to the agenda?
Yeah.
Yes, correct. All right, Connie, have you gotten that amendment added?
Yep.
Thank you. All right, so we have a motion of, we have a motion and we have it seconded, and we have an amendment and we have it seconded that are on the floor right now. Any other discussion? Is that correct, Ashley?
Wait, who seconded it?
Ashley seconded it as well, the amendment as well. All right, we'll take a vote. Susie.
Aye.
Mackie.
Yeah.
Ben.
Aye.
Dietrich.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Cody.
Aye.
Daryl.
Aye.
Ashley.
Aye.
This is Emily. Aye. The motion passes. And with that, any last things we want to chat about? Ashley.
Amendment passed. We still have to vote on the original motion as amended.
The amendment passed. We now need to vote on the, thank you, on the original motion.
A separate vote. Do they?
We did last time for this one.
For friendly amendments?
Let's go another round.
All right, we're gonna go through real fast. Everybody ready? Ashley.
Aye.
Susie.
Aye.
Carol.
Aye.
Mackie.
Aye.
Ben.
Aye.
Dietrich.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Cody.
Aye.
This is Emily. Aye. Okay. Now, thank you, Ashley, so much for helping keep those rules in place. Any last things? Anybody?
Can we moving forward not have to vote separately on friendly amendments?
Can you say that again, please, Dietrich?
Okay, I think the leadership, come January 2024, should discuss whether or not friendly amendments need a separate vote.
I put, yeah, great. I put that.
All the voting I've done since 1995.
Can we bring in professional parliamentarian?
I put that in our, I put a note down about that. We'll kind of talk over how that goes, whatnot. Any last minute things? Otherwise, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right.
Second.
Cheryl motions, and I'm who?
Second.
Ashley second.
Ashley.
Do I need a vote
We don't
to?
have to vote to leave, right?
We don't have to vote to leave, I think.
I think by acclamation, it's certainly.
What if you don't have?
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. If your leadership will reach out, we'll find the right time. If otherwise, we will see you in person February 19th.
Yes.
All right. Good night, guys.
Have a
Merry Christmas.
great winter break.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Thank you, everybody.
I think there should be good knowledge to see things. Right.
Second.